Hello class, it's good to be with you again. I hope you've enjoyed our first week of the Old Testament survey course. Um, Again, it is my privilege to be walking with you through this course for our very short 8 weeks together. This is a video for week 2 of our course. I just wanted to say before we begin, we're off to a great start in terms of the classroom discussion boards. There was great interaction, great discussion that took place. I was very happy about that. We had an interesting discussion for week 1 that sparked a little bit of debate, and that is over the creation story of Genesis 1 and whether that is a literary device or a chronological guide to be taken literally. This is something that scholars have debated for a very long time. This is something that I do enjoy studying and looking at as well. I hope I was able to interact with you without letting you know exactly what side of the fence I fall on in terms of that debate. That was my goal. But again, it was great to be in the discussion board with you as much as I could, and it was great to read through all of your classroom introductions, your class introductions, and learn a little bit about you as well. Each of you has unique gifts that are specific to your calling, and I just want to encourage you to keep pursuing that wherever you are in your life, and I'm glad that Moody can be a place where you walk through that part of your life with us. I hope you're keeping up with the reading that is required for each week from the scriptures as well as from the Hill and Walton textbook. This week, in week 2, there will be select scripture readings from Leviticus, Numbers, Deuteronomy, as well as coverage in the textbook from chapters 6 through chapters 9. This week we will also be taking our first quiz of the course. This will be quiz 1, and it will cover part 2 of the Hill and Walton textbook, which is the Pentateuch, and it will cover material from chapters 3 through 9 specifically. Please make sure you have a full understanding and a strong grasp of that material before you take the quiz. Again, the quiz is timed. It will be a 30-minute quiz, and it is a closed book and closed note quiz. Again, this will be on the honor system, but please, no notes and no book for the quiz. Prior to taking this quiz, you should have an adequate understanding of the following: the historical setting, the genre of each book, the primary critical issues found within each book of the Pentateuch, along with main characters and ideas. This week we will be reading from the Hill and Walton textbook, chapters 6 through 9, as previously stated, and this will include a survey of the books of Leviticus, Numbers, and Deuteronomy, as well as an introduction and a historical analysis of the overview of the entire Old Testament, or at least most of it. This will include an historical analysis of the pre-patriarchal Mesopotamian period, the patriarchal period, the Israelite bondage in Egypt, and all the way through the Medo-Persian period during the 5th and 6th centuries before Christ. Some key themes that should be considered as you read through these chapters that will also help you on the quiz, as well as your overall comprehension of the material, are the following: the holiness of God and what it means to be holy, the covenant community of Israel and God's faithfulness to His people in keeping His covenantal promises, ritual sacrifice and the principle of substitution and the actions of the priesthood and their significance, God's sovereign reign and rule over not just Israel, but all nations, and the concept of monotheism. God's action of communicating His will and His truth through means of culture. An emphasis on the name of God, which of course we know His personal name is Yahweh, which He reveals to Moses in the beginning of Exodus. Also, the importance of the centrality of worship in the Israelite community is expressed through the tabernacle and, of course, later through the temple, as well as the organization of laws with special emphasis on the Ten Commandments, which is also in Greek called the Decalogue, meaning 10 laws. If you've looked ahead, the discussion board for week 2 may be a little bit more difficult for some of you. The discussion board prompt refers to the issue of land and inheritance in the Old Testament, and of course specifically as discussed in the Pentateuch. The question that you need to be thinking about in order to participate is there a connection between land and creation? And if so, what is that connection? How might the hope for inheritance be related to the story of creation, as found in Genesis, as well as the fall of mankind in Genesis chapter 3? I look forward to interacting with you in this discussion board. I think it'll be an interesting discussion and hopefully spark some more good conversations. One last point, I would just like to encourage you to begin thinking about what you will do for your assignment next week in week 3. The assignment is your interaction with critical scholarship paper that will be due next week at the end of week 3. So I would encourage you to begin thinking about which of the 2 potential topics you would like to write about for that assignment. The topics are listed in Blackboard under week 3, along with the questions and the topics that must be covered in your paper. Again, please do not hesitate to contact me with any questions or concerns that you may have about this course, Moody Distance Learning, or your experience here at Moody Bible Institute with us. It's my privilege to be able to serve you in this capacity, and again, please let me know how I can be of assistance to you. Continue to take advantage of the community post section on our Blackboard page. Feel free to post a question you may have about the course material, a prayer request, a praise. This is just a place where you can express different things, different needs, things that you find interesting, and this is a place for you specifically. I look forward to this next week together, and blessings on your studies. Shalom.